stories of Sri Ganesha and lessons and guidance for the year 23.
I wanted to actually explain the Swarupa and why elephant. Okay. वैसे तो हमारे शास्त्रों में बहुत बताया गया है कि कोई गजराज थे, उनका एक it was a blessing to him that he will be taken care by Shiva. So I'm not going there, but एक कुछ गुण ऐसे हैं एलिफेंट में जो केवल एलिफेंट में है. देखो, elephant is the only animal who is very very powerful, but who is very compassionate, very innocent and very sensitive. क्योंकि एलिफेंट की ही एक जो उनकी टस्क है, जो उनकी जो सूंड है, जो उनकी जो ट्रंक है, वो इतनी सेंसिटिव है कि पूरे हस्क के पूरे कहते हैं कि रूम में से वो एक सुई ढूंढ सकती है, इतनी सेंसिटिव है. इट हैज दैट सेंस ऑफ सुषुम्ना नाड़ी से रेजोनेट करती है. जो हाथी की जो ट्रंक है ना, जो सूंड है, वो सुषुम्ना नाड़ी हमारे शरीर में है, जो हमें कॉस्मोस से जुड़ाव कराती है. कहते हैं कि सुषुम्ना को ही टच करना इज अवर अल्टीमेट पर्पस. क्योंकि जब हम शुरुआत करते हैं अपनी स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी की, तो अल्टीमेटली हम इदा पिंगला के साथ सुषुम्ना कुंडलिनी जो है वो खुलती है, सुषुम्ना तक हम पहुंचते हैं. दूसरी बात यह है कि आप देखिए कि हाथी की आंखें कितनी छोटी हैं, कितनी इनोसेंट हैं, कितनी फोकस्ड हैं. हाथी एक ऐसा एनिमल है जिसको आरएनए और डीएनए पढ़ने की समझ है. आपने कभी देखा है कि हाथी जब चलता है तो वो सूंड से क्या क्या डायरेक्शंस ढूंढते हुए चलते हैं? बिकॉज दे कैन हियर अल्ट्रासोनिक वेव्स, दे हैव दैट पावर. तो वो जब भी कहीं चल रहा होता है, कहीं से सुनता है, सिर हिलाता है, वो अपनी डायरेक्शन तय करता है और फिर आगे बढ़ता है. तो इट कैन रीड द सिग्नल्स ऑफ द अल्ट्रासोनिक वेव्स ऑल्सो. हाथी का जो कान है वो आपने सबने देखा होगा, वो कितने उसकी एक शेप है, बहुत डिफरेंट शेप है, सूप जैसा. वो जो सुपड़ा होता है ना, जिसमें हम छानते हैं गेहूं, जो किसान लोग जब गेहूं को रीप करते हैं तो उसके बाद छानते हैं, तो वो क्या छानते हैं? कहते हैं कि हाथी का कान जो है ना, वो उस सुपड़े की तरह है. जिन लोगों ने मेरे साथ गणपति अथर्वशीर्ष की क्लास की है, उसमें मैंने ये समझाया है, जिसमें वो जो वेस्ट है उसको निकाल देता है और जो सार है, जो तत्व है जीवन का, जो एसेंस है जीवन का, उसको रखता है. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? हम कचरा और क्लटर अपने पास रखते हैं और सार पर ध्यान नहीं देते. सो हाथी के जो कान है वो ये आपको मैसेज देते हैं, लेट गो ऑफ द क्लटर, लेट गो ऑफ द नॉइज, कीप द एसेंस ऑफ द लाइफ, कीप द एसेंस ऑफ दैट नॉलेज, राइट? अच्छा, हाथी की ही एक ही जानवर है जिसके जब वो कान हिलाता है ना, तो उसकी आंखों तक पहुंचते हैं. आप जब उसके साथ, हाथी के साथ इंटरैक्ट करो, आपने कभी देखा है उसे कि वो कान हिलाता है जोर जोर से और उसके आंख को ऐसे ऐसे झेल करता है. मैसेज क्या है यहाँ पर? मैसेज ये है कि कभी केवल देखी हुई बात पर विश्वास ना करो और कभी केवल सुनी हुई बात पर विश्वास ना करो. यदि विवेक से काम लोगे तो सुनी और देखी बात का एक समन्वय बना लो, एक हार्मनी बना लो, एक मिश्रण बना लो. जो सुना है और जो देखा है, जरूरी नहीं वो इंडिपेंडेंटली सत्य हो. आप उन दोनों को, उनका समन्वय बनाओ, उनको समझो, विवेक बुद्धि के साथ उसका काम लो और फिर फैसला करो, फिर उसका कंक्लूड करो उसको, जो भी आपको डिसीजन लेना है. सो ऐसे करके बहुत सारे उसमें हाथी में गुण है. गुरु की बुद्धि है, बहुत बड़ा ब्रेन है, बहुत बड़ा पेट है. तो गणपति के जो बाकी के स्वरूप के, अच्छा, गणपति के 4 हाथ दिखाए जाते हैं. 4 हाथों का मकसद क्या है? 4 हाथ ये हैं कि हमारे जो जीवन के जो 4 परस्यूट्स हैं, धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष, उन चारों का देखभाल वो करते हैं. उनके चारों जो हाथ हैं वो चारों हमारे जीवन के परस्यूट्स हैं. फिर चारों हाथों में भी जो जो उनके दिखाई देता है ना आपको, वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. उनके चारों हाथों में आपको क्या नजर आता है? एक में तो पाश है, जिसमें वो अपने आप को बांधते हैं. मैसेज क्या है? कि हम अपने जीवन में अपना कंट्रोल अपने हाथ में रखें। पीपल शुड नॉट टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ आवर इमोशंस। हमारे गुस्से का, हमारे नफरत का, हमारे इम्पल्स का, हमारे एग्रेशन का कंट्रोल किसी और के पास नहीं होना चाहिए। यही हमारे रिश्तों के टूटने के कारण बनते हैं और हमारी शक्ति उससे कम हो जाती है क्योंकि हम अपना कंट्रोल लोगों को देते हैं। तो ही से सेल्फ कंट्रोल, अपने ऊपर कंट्रोल कर और अपने कंट्रोल को अपने हाथ में रखो। दूसरा, उनके हाथ में गोर्ड होता है, जो उसका हिंदी में मुझे शब्द नहीं मिल रहा है, लेकिन वो उससे वो अपने भक्तों का को इधर उधर डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होने देते, संभाल के रखते हैं अपने पास। फिर एक हाथ में उनकी वरद मुद्रा है, सबको ब्लेस करते हैं, हैप्पीनेस देते हैं, सबको ब्लेस कर रहे हैं। जैसे भी आप हैं आपको वो एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, ब्लेस करते हैं। चौथे हाथ में उनके मोदक है, हैप्पीनेस, the resultant of all these things, whatever we have actually discussed right now. You can see all this, the beautiful picture of Ganpati is there. अच्छा, गणपति की जो सूंड है ना, जो जिसे हम कहते हैं सुषुम्ना नाड़ी से मिलती जुलती है, वो लेफ्ट और राइट कहते हैं वक्रतुंड। वक्रतुंड क्यों? उनकी जो जो वो है वो एडजस्ट होती रहती है। कैसे? भक्तों की, बिकॉज वो जो भक्तों के लिए इतने कंपैशनेट हैं, भक्त को जैसा लेसन उस समय देना है, जीवन में जो लेसन देना है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली लेफ्ट और राइट वो चेंज करते रहते हैं। सो ही इज जस्ट, उनकी अनुकंपा अपने भक्तों के लिए है हमेशा। सो ये उनके स्वरूप की खास बातें हैं। जैसे उनका जो पेट है वो बहुत बड़ा है, एक्सेप्टेंस। ही सेज you just accept whatever is, whatever life has offered you, accept that. He listens a lot, बहुत बड़े कान हैं। और एक मुख है जिससे वो बात कम करते हैं। वो कहते हैं कि सुनो ज्यादा, बोलो कम, बोलो तब जब विवेक बुद्धि हो, जब बहुत जरूरी हो। सो इस तरह से उनके हर स्वरूप का एक एक जो अंग है या एक एक जो हिस्सा है वो हमारे जीवन के लिए एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत मैसेज हो सकता है, एक सेल्फ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का लेसन हो सकता है, और किस तरीके से हम अपने जीवन को और बेहतर, बहुत सुंदर बना सकते हैं, गणपति से सीखते हैं। क्योंकि वो हमेशा द अल्टीमेट इज हैप्पीनेस, द मोदक, आनंद, सत्य चित्त आनंद, वहां तक लेकर जाते हैं। और गणपति के बारे में तो कितनी बात कही गई है, वो जो हम अथर्व शीर्ष पढ़ते हैं, जो उनकी अल्टीमेट प्रेयर है, उसमें तो उनको ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश तक का की उपाधि दी गई है, दैट ही क्रिएट्स, he sustains and he transforms the entire world. So this is about the Swarupa of Ganpati, and he loves the red flower, he loves the, को जो red sandalwood बहुत पसंद है, और क्योंकि उनका लाल रंग है और उनका चक्र जो है मूलाधार है, हमारी जीवन की हर शुरुआत, चाहे वो मटेरियलिस्टिक वर्ल्ड में है, चाहे इमोशनल वर्ल्ड में है, चाहे स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में है, हर शुरुआत मूलाधार से है। Because he is there before the beginning and he is there after the end also. This is the Swarupa of Ganesha.
Wow, beautiful, Dr. Anita. So many things you shared, which are such a blessing as a guidance for Ketu for the year 2023. First thing which Dr. Anita mentioned was that the elephants, they can see or they can understand the ultrasonic rays also. What is ultrasonic ray? Basically, it is that which is there, but human eyes are not able to see it, they're not able to perceive it. Doesn't it happen in our life a lot of times that we fear the unknown, something that we cannot see? We fear it. What will happen in the future? How will this person behave? I've given an interview. How will it come out to be? And then what does this unknown do to us? That it gives us a sense of anxiety, right? Because that is exactly how human beings are. When we don't know something, we fear it. And here is what Sri Ganesha is teaching us with this Abhay Mudra, which we just saw in the Swarup, that don't worry, everything is happening for a divine purpose and everything is happening in your highest and best. It is ultimately going to serve you. So just by his ability, in fact, being a neuro-linguistic programming coach, I recommend a lot of people to meditate on the form of Sri Ganesha, especially those people who feel lost in life. A lot of our ancient remedies say that we can donate laddus to Sri Ganesha's temple every Wednesday. You know why that is? Because one, Sri Ganesha enjoys eating, and secondly, we have a schedule in our life to visit Ganeshji's temple. Why Ganeshji's temple? So that we can do its darshan, we can see it, and by seeing, by engaging our sense of seeing, the pierced seeing of Sri Ganesha, small eyes but pierced, very focused, we will be able to absorb its energy through our sense, so that, there are certain symbols which make a difference to our brain. We start producing different chemicals. Those chemicals, they help us in making decisions in life. So haven't you seen, like, just generally, if you are facing some issue, and if some elder says, don't worry, I'm there, they show their Abhay Mudra, don't worry, main hu na. That is what they say, right? You suddenly feel relaxed, right? Not that the problem has gone, not that people around have changed, but just this support. Oh, don't worry, I'm there. That makes you feel good. So these are the messages that the form of Sri Ganesha is saying, that don't worry, I'm there. No, don't worry, yaar. That kind of thing. And the next thing which doctor mentioned was to declutter. What do elephants do in a jungle? That they go straight ahead, very focused. I want to go into this direction. And then while doing so, they declutter. They remove all the obstacles which come in their direction. It is said that when a herd of elephants is moving across the jungle, it clears out the way for everyone, right? So, which is exactly another thing the Swarupa of Sri Ganesha is teaching us. This year, declutter. Declutter your surroundings, declutter your mind. So the first thing that you need to declutter is your room, the immediate environment in which you stay. Also, Ketu itself often comes with the message of decluttering whatever is excess in life. Whatever you are now too dependent on, you feel that you cannot live your life without, but it makes you go within, makes you go simple. So, simple eating, simple living. And how does it make you declutter? Sometimes through losses, which means that if you have excess and you do not have value of it, or sometimes it makes you declutter just by this internal strength of donation. So do donations of these things which you feel that you have excess of, maybe money, maybe food, maybe other resources. A lot of times decluttering for people and living a simplistic life might also mean going, really like staying within in terms of friends. A lot of you, because Ketu is in Libra when it comes to the transit in astrology these days also. So Libra means relationships with others. So for a lot of you, this could be a declutter with respect to relationships. Any friendship which has, like done with it's done with its time, or any relationship, marriages, etc., or even other romantic relationship which has been done with its time. The universe will help you in decluttering it. Of course, in the beginning, it might feel like a little, ye kya ho raha hai? But this is required for you to live your highest and best life. It is basically Ketu's work is, have you heard that phrase, to make you light as a feather? That is what Ketu's perspective is. That is what it wants you to do, to become light as a feather, to only have in your life what is required for you to live a sustainable life. So that will happen. Then the next thing that the doctor mentioned was about self-control, right? So now that we have our senses, there could be a possibility that it might go, because we are feeling lost. There's so much information out there. There is every day, there is some, random information which comes to us through various social media platforms. It affects our health. It affects our mental health. So therefore, to control our senses in this particular time is very important. And what does the trunk of Sri Ganesha teaches us? To do breathing exercises, to do anulom vilom, right? To ensure that as far as possible, our senses, instead of us being in control of our senses, which means maybe in terms of what we are eating, what we are seeing, what we are hearing, the environment that we are in, that we are controlling all of these things as far as possible, that we control what we eat. So another suggestion for you all would be that you could start fasting either on Tuesdays or on Wednesdays, because diet has karma, food has karma. Who has prepared it, where it is, where the seed was sown, what was the energy of the people who were sowing the seeds, etc., etc. So by kind of limiting the food intake, if possible, health-wise definitely. If health-wise definitely, if it is possible, limit your food intake, declutter your food intake, realign it with your highest and best. That will definitely help. And in the Vedic culture, we say to fast on specific days, which is, as mentioned, Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Now, the next thing is, we also spoke about flexibility of the trunk. To have a sense of discernment, when do I need to go left? When do I need to go right? To not get stuck to an idea that this is how it has always been, so this is how it will always be. To have that sense of a little flexibility that maybe this situation is not black or white, maybe it is gray. Maybe this requires me to behave in a way which is new to me but required, right? So this is again where the head of the elephant, which is the guru or the mentor, comes into picture. And sometimes when we become too rigid, it is okay to listen to someone else's opinion, especially somebody who is apt in giving you those decisions. Now, again, this is another thing. Don't go to everybody for suggestions. Everybody might not, they might be dealing with their own thing. Go to the people who are qualified to give you suggestion depending upon what your question is. So that is a sense of discernment. That is the flexibility of the trunk. Where do I need to go? That's your internal GPS system. Why? Because the senses are lost. Ketu is headless, remember. So therefore, that internal GPS system has to be flexible, has to create a sense of discernment. Who do I rely on? Who do I ask the question? And before all of that, what is the question? That is also very important. Our Shastras say that the quality of the answer depends upon the quality of the question. Certain times I have seen Ketu people, and in Ketu period, a person becomes too curious. Curiosity in itself is not a problem. The concern is when we lose the sense of doing our own research. Certain simple things which are okay to be found on Google or other things, we start relying on others, which is why I'm saying the sense of discernment. Who are you asking? What are you asking? When I say asking, it also means, just asking a question on Google or just asking a question on YouTube or any other platform that you use. The question has to be intelligent. The question has to be relevant. Don't waste your time asking random questions. Now, acceptance, the big stomach, right? As I said, that sometimes when we don't know our direct future, because that will never be the possibility, the key is to accept. Because once we accept what is, basis that foundation, on that we can start making decisions. But the more we live in non-acceptance of what is, we are just delaying the process of decision making. And here is a time where it is very important to make very informed decisions. So therefore, first accept what is, so that you can move forward from there. And lastly, something that Dr. Anita said, Mooladhara Chakra, which is also associated with Ganeshji. I get a lot of queries asking about how do I open my third eye chakra? How do I open my crown chakra? And my basic answer is this: no, till the time you haven't worked on your roots, you haven't worked on your root chakra, your Mooladhara chakra, don't even attempt to go above. Because imagine a tree without roots, it will fall off. And like how? One storm and it will fall off. Therefore, it is very important for everybody, all of us, to connect back to our roots and to work on a Mooladhara chakra. What is Mooladhara chakra indicative of? It is indicative of our basic survival needs. So is my basics, has that been taken care of? Am I getting food every day? Am I getting my basic survival needs every day? Also, again, the term here is basic. Remember, simplicity. Itna to hona hi chahiye. Uske baad, then you built upon your life. Cannot ignore your basics. Cannot stay, again, headless, that I'm always meditating or I'm always spiritual, as much as the need will arise. Yes, Ketu period gives us that time when we want to just stay within, meditate. And in fact, you could see a lot of these industries doing very well in this area, but ensure that your basics are taken care of. And upon that, build your spiritual practice.
Wonderful, wonderful information and wonderful knowledge, Neha. I hope everybody is being benefited by this. And I would like to add on to this, as Neha was sharing, that we have to declutter our spaces, we have to declutter our eating habits, our senses. We have to actually start cleaning our senses by removing too much of intake of food, or start donating whatever is not required. That's wonderful. I would like to add on to this that also work on decluttering your thoughts and emotions. There are so many emotions which are not relevant to us right now. So many emotions we have to cleanse ourselves. So many things we have to let go of. So many grudges, so many blames, so many complaints we have to let go of. So let us start doing that also. That is also part of decluttering. Cleansing your karmas and cleansing your emotions is so important in these days.